Welcome to the best thing you watched this week. I got Chris from Movies and Munchies, myself, Ruben from the Ruby Tuesday, and honey? Yeah, I need to borrow something from you. Yes, I want your heart. Just for a few seconds. Give it to me.
Oh, God. Oh, what's wrong with you?
I'm hungry. That doesn't taste good.
Well, that's what you get for eating somebody's heart.
Yeah. Now I need a new wife.
Yeah.
Thank you. Welcome to the best thing you watched this week. Hopefully that was a bit entertaining for you. We like a bit of cannibalism here.
Well, and hopefully you weren't eating also while you watched that.
Yeah, hopefully you weren't. All right. How are you, Chris?
I'm a little disturbed, maybe.
Especially as you have foreknowledge of what might be happening in the future.
Yes, exactly. Oh, goodness. No, I'm doing all right. I'm tired. We've been simultaneously redoing 2 bathrooms in our house, which I do not recommend to do them both at the same time. But yeah, so that's been my week.
Nice.
How about you?
Been watching a lot. There's been a lot to view. I've been trying to catch up on some recommendations from the people in the comments. A wonderful
Nice.
community. Some I've managed to, some I've just added, like you will add to that never-ending list. And if you are joining us for the first time, thank you for joining us. Welcome to the crazy world of the best thing we watched, where we cover some of the best thing we watched. We try and keep it new and fresh and different. With the Halloween month, we've been doing a movie that we haven't seen in a very long time. And we talk about that, and that'll be at the end of our kind of the best thing we watch segment. And then we do an audio bit that's audio exclusive for wherever you listen to podcasts. It'll be on that probably. We're on most platforms. And we have a Patreon that Chris and I both do called The Bearded Ones. The Art of the Beard, where we've got at least 27 videos on there at the moment, ranging from quizzes to skits to our thoughts on the current zeitgeist of entertainment that's happening at the moment. So we have a lot going on. We're very, very busy bees. I don't know why I said a busy bee. Who knows? But we also, every week, we start with a movie quiz quote, and people try and guess. Did we have anybody guess?
We did. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Andre Proudfoot.
Hey, Proudfoot.
Got all 3. Now, I was proud of myself. I got the first 2, but I did not get the last one.
Nice.
So last week's answers were A Knight's Tale, Despicable Me.
Yeah.
Why are you so old?
It's a great quote.
It is. And Misery. Misery that completely stumped me. That is the book is outstanding, and the movie is horrifying too. So
yeah, they're both actually really good, which is surprising. You don't often get great adaptations that are both equally awesome.
Exactly.
Lord of the Rings, another standout like that. Mm-hmm. Cool. So should I do ours this week?
Yes, please stump me.
I've got a couple of. I've got 2 easy ones and 1 tricky one. So
okay.
As it's Halloween, well, it's the day before Halloween when you watch this. Halloween Eve, we'll let you try and guess a couple of these. I say will. If you don't, you'll feel bad now. Don't feel bad. These are old. But okay, here is your first 2 words. Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, no.
Okay, let me give you a full quote. Who's driving this car? Stevie Wonder?
Yeah, see, I should know that one.
You're going to kick yourself.
Yeah, probably.
On that one particularly. Okay. Yellow spandex. Okay. Well, what would you prefer? Yellow spandex? Deeper voice. Well, what would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
Yeah, see, that doesn't help. That the whole quote didn't help me at all.
Okay, those are the two easy ones, Chris.
I know, you're worrying me now.
Okay. No, I'm gonna skip that one.
Oh, okay.
A golf ball through a garden hose.
That sounds painful.
Okay. I bet you could suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
Oh, wait, that one sounds really familiar too.
It'd be funny if you got the hard one and not the two easy ones.
Not the easy ones. Oh, man.
All right.
No,
well,
it's not coming to. Yeah.
If you get them, let Chris know. Let myself know. We will check both of our channels and see if you got them.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Chris tells me his question of the week. I'm going to check that no one got mine from this week before I upset anybody.
Yes, that's probably a good thing there. All right. Well, Ruben looks. Well, I guess I should wait because you have to be able to hear the question to be able
I can
to
hear the
process
question.
it. Okay. Would you rather, and I think I know the answer to this one, but would you rather only be able to watch Sharknado for the rest of your life or never watch a movie again?
Oh, I mean, that's actually tricky because as much as I love the Sharknado series, you said Sharknado. You didn't say anything about the
No, not the series, just the first
movie. And the first movie is terrible. It's just why my son and I love the first movie so much because it's awful.
Yes.
That
is actually tough, isn't it?
That's actually a tough one. Do you want to answer? What would you do?
Yes. Well, I'm gonna go with a loophole here.
Okay.
Because it doesn't talk about TV series; it just says movie. I think I would forgo watching another movie again. Just because if the only movie I can ever watch is Sharknado, I'm going to want to gouge my eyes out at some point.
That's true. Okay. Yeah. And considering I haven't watched it since, but I did really enjoy it. Yeah, no, I will not. I will not partake in that torture.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah, because there's no variety then at all, ever.
No, there isn't. Someone mentioned about the quiz last week, but they just said, yeah, on the quiz, but didn't answer the questions. So
okay.
That again was Rob Vespa. So Rob, we are aware of you trying. There's been no paragraphs from Rob this week, thankfully. But should we get into the best thing we watched this week?
Yes, please. Okay. Let's do. What's on your list?
I have quite a few things. I probably will squish it down to 4, otherwise we'll be here for hours. But I'm eager to hear, I don't know if this is on the best thing you watched, but I'm eager to hear your thoughts on, I've been wanting to talk about this for weeks and I haven't been able to, and the whole intro was because of that, the bastard son and the devil himself. What did you think, Chris?
I have 2 episodes left. It's an 8-episode series, and you had mentioned categorized it as kind of adult Harry Potter. Totally. They even make Harry Potter references occasionally in a very snarky way, which I love. Yeah. I'm really enjoying the series right now. I mean, it is very dark. Mm-hmm. Some of it there is a predictable arc in certain aspects, but some of it I still don't know where it's going. So I like that. There is an antagonist, and then there is a villain.
My goodness. So there's an antagonist, which I guess that's part of the arc story, but then there's a villain. Dude.
Whoa. Just like so psychotic, evil, just bad. I mean,
just die. Why would you die? Somebody kill that.
Yes. It's just, oh my goodness. So I'm enjoying. I love the intrigue. I really like you had mentioned, I think maybe last week or something, and I had no frame of reference, so it just kind of blew
Right over
past
you.
me a little bit.
Yeah.
But this training montage. Now, when we say training montage, when you said it, what popped into my head is like a 5-minute type of thing, and we see this, exactly. Over the course of an entire episode and a half,
Yep.
we have this training montage, and it's not, I mean, it's interspersed. So don't
Yeah,
get it,
yeah. It's
don't
not
hear
just
this and be like,
consistently long, and you're like, ugh, why have they done that?
exactly. Yeah. But typically in your montages, you see somebody struggling at the beginning, and then pretty quickly they gain their footing, and they're rocky at that point, taking everything out. No. We see so much failure. It's so
failure. Painful. I was like, come on, surely you should be getting better by now. And he's just getting beaten.
Yeah, just constantly. So I liked that. It actually, like the patience that the story takes to really show us his journey. And because time is kind of indeterminate in this, I don't know if it's, you guess that it's probably several weeks, if not a month
some
or
time
two.
has passed. There's some, like, his hair is growing a bit on his face, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it's the chase aspect of this is good. I like that, and I think it's fairly obvious from almost the get-go where you have the supposed good guys and the bad guys, except I say supposed because you learn so quickly on that they are not.
No, yeah, I think it's in the trailer as well. It's the culture of highborn, lowborn sort of mentality, but it's the disparity of that is way worse. It's like, we kill you if you're lowborn sort of thing, right? If you're that thing, you die. We actively hunt you out. But then I like the clans and things that they create out of the kind of the lowborn. And so you have that journey as our characters need to get from A to B to survive and figure out what's going on. And as they learn, you learn, and that's a really nice storytelling because we're going on an adventure, like the hobbits, and you're leveling up as you're going on. That it's classic kind of game mentality. You're seeing how magic is immersed into the world. It's just there, it's part of it. It's everybody uses it, but uses it in like real world things. So it's not like magic is the fix to everything. It's just that it's part of that. So sometimes you use magic and it hurts you. Sometimes you use a potion and it kills you, or it maybe stays off your death for a few more seconds, that sort of thing. I mentioned in my review, there's a character that comes along. He's got this blonde hair. He's not really the good guy, but you kind of like him because he's quirky and weird. And then he grows. I love the character growths pretty much of all the characters. I think they're really well defined and they do have a lot of growth. But this guy, if you notice, he's basically a potions master, and you look at the end of his fingertips, and they're all different colors or stained from the potions he's been making. Really nice little touch on the immersive world that's there. And I thought the magic itself as well. It looked great. The way they used it, it was the harshness of it. Without going into massive spoilers, there's one bit where they have to travel, and the way they get to another place, it's like, really? Wow, I don't know if I could do that. It's that sort of thing. Really, really fun. So for me, I know it's probably not the best series in the world, but it's it's the series I've had the most fun with this year. Like, I can't think of another series that I've enjoyed watching so much.
Yeah, I'm really digging the story. I mean, I love where it's going. There's some really good creativity within the like portions of the story. Like, you see it and you're like, ooh, and the fact that they withhold information until later on. Like, there were parts of it, especially in, like, I think it's episode 6, maybe, as we're watching the antagonist go on their journey of evilness, I guess. And the arc itself, I think, is kind of predictable, but some of the reveals within that were like, I was like, oh wow. So we watch this person do something, and it reveals like all of this other stuff around it, which gives you so much insight into their character. And so you've had this persona that we've been shown, and the veneer has been wiping off of this. But then once we get these scenes that really establish from way back, you're like, oh my gosh, you're just.
What's interesting is you haven't watched the last 2 episodes, and I can say, having the perspective of the last 2 episodes, I don't think it's as clear cut as you think it is, even with those last. Yeah, because there's still a couple of reveals like, oh, because I went, oh, that's not quite what I thought it was, which was nice.
That's great.
Catches you off guard.
Sweet.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get another season, because there's scope from the books. I believe there's a trilogy of books, so we could get at least another season for the story. So it does finish off an arc, but there's definitely lots of questions that are unanswered. Yeah,
Nice.
Really fun. Yeah,
it is. I'm enjoying it. That's on Netflix. Also, I don't think we said that.
to be not.
But,
No, I just jumped into it.
Yeah.
So what's on your list?
For me, well, The Bastard Son and The Devil Himself was on my list, so that's great. I'm glad we talked about that. Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities was an anthology event this week on Netflix. And because I've been doing bathroom remodels, I haven't had a ton of time to watch as much stuff as I wanted to. But that was one of the ones that I was able to binge through this last weekend before it released. And not all of the episodes landed for me. There was definitely a hierarchy of which ones really resonated with me.
Yeah.
But I think that's also the beauty of a series like this, that because I was reading through comments, and the ones that I didn't particularly enjoy, other people absolutely loved.
It's always going to be the way with one of these, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and I think that's the beauty of it too, is because first off, they're standalone episodes, so you can watch them out of order. You can watch whichever one, and if one isn't clicking with you, you can just go to the next one and be like, exactly. Yeah. And so I think they're all kind of slow burn. So I think that, and they're not your traditional horror either. So if you're thinking that they're going to be that, you will be disappointed, because these are, think of some of Guillermo del Toro's stuff. When he does, his are very story based.
The payoff is normally the ending, because you've sat through the building of the story. Yeah.
Exactly.
I equated these to very old school Tales of the Crypt. If you remember the skeleton who would come in at the beginning and it would tell you about, and you didn't make some sort of pun. And then at the end of he'd come back and it's like, see, you needed your driver's license or something like that. And for me, Guillermo del Toro introducing it was perfect, like the way to do that. And then he would say, and the director's name and what he's going to talk to us about. And then we get immersed into that.
Totally, yeah. And I think, there's a good mix of stories in here too, because there's some sci-fi, there's some like body horror, there's some that are just kind of like a social commentary type of, make you think. There's an emotional, like a very emotional story in one.
How was the Babadook one? Because I haven't watched all of them. I've reviewed the first 2. I watched the first 3. Because I've had so much to watch. So how was that one? Did you get to see that one?
It's that's the emotional one. That one was a very surprising story to me, because we're watching this and it has creepy elements to it. Like you're like, and ooh, that's unsettling to me, or just like it makes the hair stand up. But then it punches you in the gut too, and it becomes this really beautiful story. So it follows along kind of like, what you would if you've seen the Babadook, because I hit my microphone, if you've seen the Babadook, that has this emotional arc to it, and it's more than just the creepy story. And that's what Jennifer Kent does in this one as well. And just in a compressed timeline, So yeah,
Great.
it's definitely awesome.
Do you have a favorite?
I do. Mine is The Autopsy, episode 3.
Yeah.
With F. Murray Abraham. Oh my gosh.
That was great. Really fun, different, intelligent storytelling. And I love the narration as well. A sort of narration from a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was, that was the one that just overall out of all of them. And I mean, I definitely enjoyed most of them in one way or another, and I appreciated all of them. Some of them just didn't, like, for me, The Witch House was probably the weakest one.
Okay.
It's a H.P. Lovecraft adaptation, and
that's disappointing. I love Lovecraft stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it was funny because it's not like the production design was awesome. The acting was really good.
So what was wrong with it, Chris?
It just didn't click with me. That was all it was. That
okay.
it was just kind of like, it was just kind of there,
yep.
And so yeah. So anyway, I mean, it's 8 episodes, each of them hour-ish long, but totally worth watching. I think it's on the list of the best thing I watched this week because it's, I had a lot of fun, and I think that there's at least one episode that hopefully that will like suck you in and be like, ooh, that's great. And there are definitely some weird ones too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got 2 this week that people can take or leave it. Like, it'll properly split people's I love this or I hate this are the sort of comments I've been getting on my review. But the one I want to talk about that is in the best thing I watched this week, but only because of the last 10 minutes of the film, is Hellhole. Have you seen this, Chris? Did you get to watch this?
No, I want to. It's because Polish movies, the Polish horror movies, well, just even the Polish shows and movies, like I'm about 50-50 on. Some of them have been outstanding, and some of them have been kind of like, So this one sounds like it's kind of right in the middle there, or it's like,
it's bonkers, Chris. It's such a weird ass film. So you have a dude that's a detective, and he goes into a monastery where there's a bunch of priests that is basically a home for people that are possessed, and they're there to unpossess them, do loads of exorcisms. That's the guise of it. But a bunch of women have been going into this and not coming out. So detective goes undercover as a priest. For my review, I donned my own cultic cloak and scared the crap out of everybody.
Nice.
And so he's basically trying to figure out what the hell's going on in this monastery. So what we then get is an hour and probably 20 minutes of investigating. There's a lot of creepy things and cinematography. It looks wonderful. Lots of yellows and oranges for candlelight, and things that, like a cross turning upside down, or a woman shaking like she's possessed, or making weird noises, kind of taking all the kind of the possession storylines. But we know from the outset that there's something going on and something different. The last 10 minutes of the film is so bonkers and so out there that I was just like, woo, what is this nonsense? Honestly, there's a scene in this movie that I've never seen done before in a film. It was visually arresting, creepy as heck, and then it shows you something else, and then the end credits come up like a finalization of the sort of thing we're waiting to show you, the title sort of thing, going boom, and you're like, oh, they went there, cool. I'm very hardly trying not to do any spoilers, because that's the best bit, but you kind of have to sit through the nonsense of the film that is very slow burny. You want it to rush, you want it to get over and get to that end. You also are like, I understand what you're doing, but you're trying to tackle too many themes. There's possession storyline, detective, there's like a sort of a history and origin of this detective guy is strung in there as well. And then you get to the end, and there's like a great creature feature creation, supernatural done well, and leaving you with a moment. And I can't really say more than that without spoiling it. But yeah, I was just like, damn, okay, that was different. But my comments are, this is one of the best films I've seen in forever. And then the other one, this is one of the worst films I've seen in forever. It's brilliant.
You know it's a good film when it splits audiences like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Anyway, moving on. What's next on your list?
This is one that you told me about. You were like, dude, have you seen this yet? And I'm like, no, I'm mid bathroom. What are you talking about? It's a Spanish movie, Jaula, the chalk line.
Juanto?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's got J.
There's an L in it. Yeah, but yeah, J in Spanish is an H.
Don't ask me. What do I know? I speak English.
But it's called the chalk line.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, we started Googling. It's like, is this a true story? And I mean, it is. There's like an element that could be from a real story that happened.
100% like documentary.
Yeah, exactly. But the rest of it, whatever. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, the premise, I mean, oh my gosh, dude, I'm so glad you told me about this movie. But it's this couple driving home one night to find this little girl wandering in the middle of the road in the middle of the night. And through all of this stuff, they bring her home after she goes to the hospital, after she's seen by psychologists, everything. They convince them to just at least let her be there because they can't find out who she is. They don't know her identity. They don't know where she came from. Nobody's coming forward for her. Crazy. And they discover that she lives in a box almost. Like they draw chalk on the floor. And she then begins to function within this. And then they experiment and they extend the chalk outline and she ventures out.
Love that.
And so you're like, oh, dude, this is like dark.
It's really interesting. Yeah, you want to know why. Yeah.
Yeah. And, and so the movie takes you through this. And there's a point in it where I was like, is this a supernatural movie?
That's because what I thought. It really plays into that. And maybe it is.
Yeah, it leans into that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so then the movie continues, and then about by the third act, it then spins around and shows us a different perspective. And it is horrifying.
It is way more horrifying than I expected it to be.
Dude, just and not like slasher horrifying. There is violence in it, which is kind of gnarly, some of the violence, but it just like not what I was expecting at all.
No.
And wow, what a great thriller.
Yeah.
Because it really the storytelling sucked me in just moment by moment. Like as each interaction passes, like I'm more invested in it, I'm more like concerned for the character, trying to figure out what is really at the core of this and why is everything so just not mysterious, because that's the whole point of it, is to be the mystery. But I mean, you feel a darkness to the story, and there is a good payoff for that story. I appreciate that too. I think they nail the landing really well.
This is one of those films, one of those stories where, and you hear people saying this so many times, stop trying to put too many genres in a film. It never works. This is an anomaly film because it is one thing, and then it's another thing, and then it's another thing, and each of those pay off so well. They are so well integrated into what is the main story that you come off going, that was unique. That was actually a different story.
Yeah. The drama portion of this too is it's a little subtler, I think, because you have with the couple, there's a storyline that's kind of running parallel to it. It's never really the focus of it, but there is a climax in a conversation that centers around this side story. But they even kind of thing.
I can't get over how well they integrate that subtle storyline. because they started in one place. You see somebody doing something, but then it comes back to play even in the main part of the story. And you're like, that's very clever writing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, totally. Yes, applause worthy golf clap. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm glad you told me about this one. It's on Netflix, at least in the US, and I think in the UK as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a Netflix film. I think they bought the rights for it and slapped their name on it.
Right.
But either way, I mean, yeah, the chalk line is definitely worth watching.
Cool.
All right. What's next?
Okay, so this is another one that's going to split audiences, I think. Will definitely split my mind. So we have one of the Time Lords, one of the Doctor Who Time Lords is killing kids and people. He's basically a serial killer, just the actor. Peter Capaldi is one of the main protagonists, and it's a limited series with 6 episodes. Every episode is a proper hour. They don't skimp on the hour, and it's called The Devil's Hour, and it's on Prime Video, so that's where you will find it. It's about a woman that wakes up at 3:33 a.m. every night with memories of something that she's experienced, but she doesn't ever remember experiencing them. Yeah, so it's like a dream that she knows she was there, but she can't remember in her life that she's experienced that, but she knows that's real.
Ooh.
Yeah. And her son, Isaac, none of the doctors or psychiatrists or the mother knows what's wrong with him. It's like he's autistic, but he's not. He's like he's not there, but he's totally there. Nobody knows what's wrong with him. He's always looking off into the distance, looking at things that aren't there, but he sees them. Sometimes he's having conversations or repeating lines of things with people that aren't there. And there's this like issue that's going on with her mother, seems to have a similar issue. And then we basically where we start off is where we're having an interview in a police station or a secure room with Peter Capaldi. He's sitting across the chair and he's being interviewed. They've caught him, but he will only talk to Lucy, who is our main protagonist.
Okay.
And so the detective's there, but he will tell Lucy that actually, you're not going to want to believe what I'm telling you, but all of it's true. But you can't let them know that you believe what I'm saying, because then they'll lock you away because you are crazy. And literally, it's going to hook you in the first 20 minutes. One of the best pilots to TV series that I've seen in a very long time. Also, one of the most confusing. Because when you reach the end of episode 1, you're going to be like, that was flipping entertaining. What the hell is going on? And I'd like to say that when they explain what has happened at the end of episode 6, they do like... Peter Capaldi does this is what's happened, this is what it means, this is what you've gone through, and the story has come to its fruition. I'd like to say, yeah, I understand, but I don't. It's one of those series that you cannot look away. There are things happening in the background, so someone will be talking and you'll see someone walk past the camera, and like you can miss that in a split second. They won't ever mention it, the character won't reference it, just was there. And then you can have a character looking at something but talking about something different, and you can miss it. So there's lots of like puzzle piecing. It's also shown in multiple timelines, and so you really have to keep your wits about you when watching this. But that's not the reason I didn't understand what happened. Like, I focused, I put my attention to it. I was writing notes on my phone and got to the end, and then my wife is like, so this and this happened? And then we spent the next like 20 minutes talking about what actually happened. And I'm like, yeah, but this doesn't explain why that person, and this doesn't explain what that, but it does if you think, and it's brilliantly like mind-bending FU in their head sort of thing. It's great, but I think it's going to be one of those where everybody's just going to have their own opinion as to what has happened.
I love shows like this. Where it causes that discussion afterwards, and you're back and forth, and you're like, no, it's this way. Oh wait, what? No, hey, I thought it was this.
Yeah, but what happens? Is that really what happened? No, because that means this is This is definitely up your cup of tea as well. It's British,
Yeah,
grey and dark, and wet.
Nice. It's 6 episodes, you said?
6 limited series, so one and done.
And all dropped at once.
Yeah, all on Prime right now. You can just go and enjoy and be confused.
Nice. Oh, I'm so excited to check this out.
It's actually really clever. Yeah. I would say the first half is like a supernatural mystery, and the second half is like a thriller explanation, kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. I'm all for a heady, confusing series that, like, I love it when things happen in the background that are key or that are clues, but you know, that, like you said, that nobody referenced. You just have to see it, and that's part of the puzzle piece within it. Love it. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch. That's going to be outstanding.
Yeah, I think you're going to enjoy this one. Yeah, it's a good one to add onto the list. Do you have any more before we go into our... Okay, I've got one more to talk about.
Okay.
This is a unique one. It's a new anime that dropped this week on Netflix again. I feel like we are... Like, we don't get paid by Netflix, but I feel like we talk about a lot of Netflix stuff.
They drop the most stuff consistently.
They do.
I think that's why, yeah.
And some weeks their stuff is good, so that's why we talk about it. Yeah.
Very true.
Okay, so this week's anime is called Romantic Killer. It's 12 episodes. They all dropped at once. They're about 20 minutes, and the last episode is 30 minutes long to kind of finish up. According to the information websites, there is another season coming. I'm guessing that's if it does well. So here's the thing. The first episode, I hated. the voices ground like in my soul, high-pitched. I would suggest watching it in its original language because the voice dubbing is good. It's very well done, but really, really high-pitched and screechy. But also, it doesn't do a great job at selling it. For a dude that's watching in his 40s, watching a rom-com anime, that's not really my cup of tea. Okay, it's
sure.
Not, yeah. So then episodes 2 and 3 make me go, this is different. And then 4 to 7, I was like, wow, I'm kind of hooked. And then 8 to 12, I was like, damn, that was excellent. And that's how my ride of emotions went. Is this woman who's a young woman? She's going to college. She loves playing video games, especially romantic video games. But she has issues with how they're depicted, how romance is depicted in those video games. So for that reason, she seems to have never gotten romantically involved with anyone. So a wizard pops out of the game in the form of a weird chick sort of thing with a high-pitched voice and says, I've been tasked to get you romantically involved. I'm going to make your life a cliche hell. And that's kind of what it is she gets forced into situations with people she would never have really met. Like suddenly there's a massive storm and this guy's house has been flooded and he has to stay at her house now for a month while her parents are suddenly going to America. Like all the cliches, like all the romantic, and she's doing her absolute best to thwart it. Like she is not going to be romantically involved, except she can't help but actually like the guy. The guy's actually a decent dude.
Oh.
And then there's another guy, a long lost best friend she didn't know she had, but because of magic she didn't have it, but he suddenly creates it. And there's like the trio, and it just doubles down on all the cliches until the anime flips itself on its head and you start hearing about the guy's perspective and his side and how hard their lives are, and like his very broken relationship with his parents, or because he's so good looking, there's a woman that is totally besotted with him to the extent of stalking, and it becomes quite dangerous. And it just suddenly has all these fears of like going from this is just absolute poo to me going, this is amazing. Loved it. So if you're looking for a good anime but you saw that one on the list and thought, yeah, I'm not gonna watch that, you may want to get past the first episode, give yourself that classic 3 to 4. If you're not sold by the 4th episode, then maybe move on. But yeah, wasn't quite expecting this to be as good as it was.
That's nice. Well, and because the episodes are so short, binging it, to get to that 4th episode, not a big deal.
No.
So,
yeah.
Rock on.
Right.
Cool.
Should we talk about our chosen movie?
Yes. Let's.
By the looks of your face, I don't think you enjoyed it.
This was my first time ever seeing it.
So you've never seen this? Okay, interesting.
I had never seen this. No.
Right. Is it better than Halloween Ends?
No, it is not.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about this. Halloween H2O or Halloween 2.0 or Halloween 20 years later.
Yes.
You see,
yes.
Chris, this is a lot of people's one of their favorites.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I don't know why. They retcon so much stuff.
They
like
really,
I was like, wait, what's going on? For I don't even.
Who actually died in this movie
in
as well? Yeah, we're just going to talk spoilers because it's so old.
Okay.
It's over 20 years.
Yeah.
Mostly, if you like Halloween, you've seen it. Yeah.
There. So the movie, it starts off with a kill, which
yes.
we don't really get to see much of.
But that's most of the kills. Almost 90% of the kills are off screen in this film.
They are, yeah, and then we go like over an hour of
before anything happens. It's just building up story and drunk mum.
And there's so many noise that are attempting to be jump scares or just like
reflections of the person. Is it?
Yeah,
is it, it's not him. Is it?
So we have Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Returning. She is Laurie Strode, except in this universe, she got married, had a child, divorced that dude, moved from Illinois to California, and then changed her name completely. So it's not even, nobody knows her as Laurie Strode. They know her as Kate Tate, something like that.
Something like that.
It doesn't really matter. Who cares? So she has a son, first off, which in the new Halloween, the reboot from the trilogy that came out beginning in 2018, they got rid of that. They just are like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to give her a daughter. Which, funny enough, this was Josh Hartnett's first movie.
Yeah, introducing Josh Hartnett. That was very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was neat. Yeah. Michael Myers is Laurie Strode's brother.
Yes.
Which makes...
That's all right.
That makes no sense.
Why doesn't it make any sense?
Because he's not her brother. They're not brother and sister in the first movie. Well, you don't just get to make crap up. You don't,
yes, you just they just did it.
All of a sudden, it's like, well, Michael Myers is my brother. He killed my sister on Halloween night, and then he's been trying to come after me. And oh my gosh, we have the cast, though. Let's talk about this. I mean, okay, Jamie Lee Curtis, Josh Hartnett, that we've talked about. There's Michelle Williams, LL Cool J.
I actually think he was excellent in this. I loved LL Cool J.
LL Cool J was so good, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he's funny.
Really fun.
Alan Arkin.
Yeah.
No, Adam Arkin.
Adam Arkin.
Adam Arkin, not Alan.
It's a good cast.
It's a good cast.
Good composer. Good cinematographer.
I was so disinterested in the film. Like, as it just kept going along, I was
It's not even long, Chris. It's an hour and a half.
And it felt like 3. It could not be over fast enough for me. Because
a lot of people are saying the quintessential new trilogy is Halloween 1 and 2 and this one. Jeremy Jans recently reviewed this one, and he was saying how much better than this is than Halloween Ends. But by the pain in your face, I can see you don't agree with that.
I enjoyed the story more of Halloween Ends. Even as messed up as it was and as kind of off the rails it went, I enjoyed that storyline so much more than this. Like, it just... Do you know what this movie did for me? It made me want to go watch those old 90s slashes. Urban Legends, I Know What You Did Last Summer, The Faculty, seeing Josh Hartnett in that. I was like, yeah, I want to see some of those again. The good stuff, not the crap stuff. There you go. No, that's good. Did you I'm assuming you enjoyed this more than I did.
I definitely enjoyed it more than you, but I think
Okay.
it was nostalgic for me. Like just seeing Hot Josh Hartnett, LL Cool J, and when the score finally kicks in, the dun, 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 it probably been waiting so long. I also don't understand the motivations of Michael in this one. Like, he steals a car, but he doesn't kill the mom and the kid. But that's just not something he would do. Like, when he gets a chance, he kills. He's evil. He doesn't look at you and leave witnesses normally. He would just wipe you out.
Yeah. He just, well, and the fact that he drives cross country from Illinois. I guarantee you, he did not get from Illinois to California on a tank of gas.
Yeah, and not in that car either.
No. So, okay,
but he's supernatural,
that's
right?
movie making.
So whatever he's in becomes supernatural.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so that part of it, I never felt any tension in this movie. Like, there was never any fear, or even his walk. His walk was too fast.
Yeah, it was too fast. Yeah.
It just, he was
saying
like
that.
He was rushing
I like the kids. I like them. I didn't want them to die. I like the geek, and I liked his girl that wants to be fat. That's her goal in life. She wants to be fat, and he like them two together. I thought they were cute.
I appreciated that they turned that on their head a little bit. That you have the hot girl who all of a sudden says, I love food, and I hope you don't. My life's goal, is to get,
to get fat. And he was like, I love chubby. I find that sexy. All right, cool.
Yeah, because that's not expected. That was not what you expected to hear from the character or anything else. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we get to know them enough, though, because the story,
even though they spend an hour with them.
Yeah, no. There are a lot of false setups, which I think could be good, except they don't, like, you cry wolf so many times.
Yeah, they do it too much. I think even two times would have been enough. The first time she wakes up with her nightmare and the sun comes to comfort her, even that's enough. We get it. She's drinking alcohol, switching it down with medication. She could have chatted to her boyfriend one time about, I need to tell you about something. She's changed her name. That's enough. Like, we get it. Yeah. And then maybe just the reflection of her still seeing it. We get it. Then you could have spent a bunch of time on these kids. Like, really, getting to know them a bit more. While Michael is on his way killing people, that would build the tenseness up. Like I said, the formula for Halloween isn't hard. It's just him coming to your location, killing loads of people on the way while you are unawares, and then him at your location. That is it.
Think about, so he pulls up in front of the school. LL Cool J opens up the thing. The car is running, but nobody's in it, and he's looking inside of it. And we watch Michael Myers look at LL Cool J and walk by him.
Also, did you notice the car's lights on, and then Michael's in the window reflection, and then the car's lights switch off? So who switched off the car's lights while he was standing outside the window?
I thought it just kind of ran out of gas. And
right
off.
Then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
there's so much of this film that, like, if you try to pull it apart, it would fall into a puddle. Never mind pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. Even the ending, I laughed more than anything.
Well, the fact that she lobbed his head. Or wait, the hand holding.
Well, so it was that whole sequence. So as the van is tumbling down, and she's clearly not seatbelted in, and yet she's still staying in the seat for most of it until she gets launched out. Okay, whatever. We'll go with that. But he he then is up against the tree, and it made me laugh as the van is coming towards him. You see this panic in his eyes, like that he's trying to get out of the way, and he's like moving kind of frantically. And I found it humorous because we don't ever see him move like that.
Yeah.
You know,
oh crap, there's a big bad. What have I done? This is bad.
Exactly. There's never that type of thing. I mean, he's just very determined and very good, you know, and
Wait
then
a
the
minute.
whole looking
I didn't
in the
plan this.
eyes. And,
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, The Mask looked very new compared to even take just the 1978 Halloween.
Yeah.
That it was grittier and everything.
Maybe he bought a new mask. Maybe he's bought in a collection of masks.
Maybe because the mask was very white. It was not. I mean, it was more white than it was even gray, and you can see so much more of his eyes around it and everything. It made me, and I don't know. I didn't look up to see who was the shape in this one, but
Michael.
It had a true. It had a very boyish look in the eyes, like not cold killer, like. I have an actor in me.
He definitely had a soft spine because she lopped his head off just like that, and that would never happen.
Oh yeah, just
squishy.
Yeah, clean. Oh no, this movie couldn't end fast enough, and then I went immediately right back to the devil or the bastard son.
I need something good to watch. Yeah.
Yes, I interrupted that viewing to watch
this nonsense. Yeah, I did watch this in 2 goes. To be fair, when we first originally, I was like, I'll come back to this, and then I came. I was just like, when is the movie gonna start? Like, once the movie had started, when does the movie start?
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
There are surprisingly few kills in this movie too.
Ridiculous. This is like 5, maybe 4.
1, 2, 3, 6 total, I think, because you have the 3 at the beginning and then the 3 at the end. Well,
all right,
4,
yeah. So
7 if you count
the
Michael.
teacher. I don't count Michael. Michael can just put his head back on his body. Supernatural. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, and it's not, it's not about the number of kills. It was just the lack of the lack of tension that was built in this. There was no anticipation. There was no even apprehension.
It reminded me of a Scream movie, a bad one. It didn't remind me of a Halloween movie at all.
No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So there you go.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Halloween, H2O, H20, H2.0, 20 years later.
Whatever you want to call it. Let us know your quintessential Halloween trilogy. What is your best 3? Because that's an ongoing fight in the world of entertainment.
Yes. No, I'm not saying Halloween Ends was good. Let me be clear in this. I was just saying I liked Halloween Ends better than I liked H2O.
Wow. Yeah. I'm not sure what my trilogy would be, to be honest, because I'm not sure there's been a good third part.
See, I'm not sure there is either.
I could say 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. All right. Let's go back to Friday the 13th.
Oh, that the first one is not very good either.
No.
I don't know if you've watched it.
But Jason 10 is a thing of genius. Jason in space. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Wow. At what point do we jump the shark? Yes, there you go. Oh, goodness. All right. Well, do you have anything else? Are we good to go?
I think we're good. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed all our Halloween-ish type of discussions this month. Next month we've got something fun and exciting. We'll just leave it at that.
Yep.
We have a Twitter so that you can tweet at us at Best We Watched. We would appreciate it if you want to reach out to us that way. Like, share, subscribe. Ruben with the Ruby Tuesday. Me, Chris, with Movies and Munchies. We have a Patreon opportunity at patreon.com/thebeardedones because we have beards. There you go. And, you can hear the longer version of this wherever you happen to listen to podcasts. We have linked them in the descriptions below. If you happen to check us out there, please rate and review us. That really helps us out. And with that, hey, we'll see you next week. Take care.